Okay, this will be a review for Chapter 9 in CCDM 103. Okay, you will get to use a calculator, otherwise it would take forever. Okay, calculator's allowed, and I want to remind you, remember to label your answer with the correct units to receive full credit. If you don't put inches or square inches or cubic inches, you'll get it half wrong if you don't get the right units. So put your units on that, okay? And all fractions must be simplified unless the problem states otherwise. Show all your work. Just show me not all the multiplication, but show what you multiplied. That way if you get it wrong, I can tell you what part you messed up on, okay? If you have everything written down right, and you just put it in the calculator wrong, I'll give you half credit for having the right work written down, okay? This is for the degrees in a triangle. You don't have to write all these down unless you want to write down what they're going to be so you can study what they are. But I'm going to give you a sheet just like this on the day of the test. Here's your degrees in a triangle. This is a rectangle. Base times height or length times width. Okay, same thing. This is a triangle. 1/2 base times height is a triangle. And here's a trapezoid. 1/2 height times where you added the top and the bottom. Here's this area of a circle. Circumference, of course, of a circle, which is like a perimeter. Volume, that's a box. Length times width times height. Rectangular prism, a box. Volume of a cylinder. Here's a circle times how high it goes. Can somebody turn that off?
Oh.
Is that right? Okay. There's a cylinder. And here's the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. Okay? I'll put this back up here when we're using it, okay? Number 1, find the perimeter. You're just adding all 3 sides, right?
Mm-hmm.
The perimeter, 22 plus 23 plus 11. 6, 56. What's the units? Yards. We get it a little bigger where we see better. Yards. Okay. The perimeter of number 2. Add all the sides. So you have 7.1 twice and 5.1 twice. 24.4, what's the units? Meters. Number 3, still perimeter. So you're still just adding all 4 sides. Okay? 16 plus 16 plus 29 plus 35. 96, what's the units?
Meters.
96 meters. Okay, this one, you're going to add every single side. Okay? Does anybody have that added up already?
125 meters.
125?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 125 meters. Okay, number 5. What will it cost to buy ceiling molding to go around a rectangular room with length 19 and width 16? Okay, 19, 16. The molding costs $2.19 per linear foot. So you have to figure out how far it is around the ceiling, all the way around. They didn't do the floor because there's doors and stuff. Okay, 19, 19, 16, 16. So is that 30, 70? Is that right? 70 times $2.14. I got $149.80.
Yep, 149.80.
$149.80. Okay, number 6. A small farm field is a square measuring 230 on one side. That means it's 230 on all 4 sides, right? Okay, because it's square. What's the perimeter? What is the perimeter of the field? And then another question, if you double it, what's the new perimeter? So you have 2 perimeters. So 230, you could times that by 4, right? There's 4 sides that are the same. Did you get one? Okay, so that's 920 what?
Feet.
230 feet. 920 feet. And if you double every side, that means you're going to have twice that on every side. So 460 on all 4 sides, right? So 460 times 4 is 1840. What?
Feet.
Feet. So 920 and 1840 feet. Okay, now we're doing area. What's the area of a rectangle? Length times width. This is base times height, but it's the same. Length times width or base times height. Okay? Okay, so that would be 12 times 20. 12 meters times 20 meters. 12 times 20.
240 meters
240
squared.
meters squared. Area, we'll always have a 2 up here. So don't forget the 2. Square meters. Okay, find the area of a rectangle measuring 3 1/3 by 6 2/3. Again, we're going to multiply the length times width, right? Or base times height, same thing. 3 1/3 times 6 2/3. We know it's going to be square miles. If you want to write away in your answer column, you could just put square miles so you don't forget. Okay, to multiply these you need improper. 3 times 3 is 9 and 1 is 10. 18 plus 2 is 20. That cannot be canceled anywhere, so 10 times 20.
200.
200. 3 times 3.
9.
Okay, change that back into a mixed number. Those were mixed numbers. So do 200
22 and 2 9.
divided by 9. 22
And 2 9.
and 2 left over, 2 9s. 22 and 2 9s, miles squared. I'm going to put it down here. Square miles. Okay, find the area of a square measuring 29 kilometers on one side. That means it's 29 on all sides, right?
Right.
So it's 29 times 29. So that's 841
Kilometers squared.
kilometers squared. Okay, now the area of a parallelogram. Same thing, base times height. So this could be for a rectangle or a parallelogram. Okay? Base times height, the base is 18 inches. Height is 9 inches. 18 times 9 is 162 square inches. Here's another parallelogram. The height's just on the side. It's still base times height. 2.4 times 3.6, these were feet, so we know it's going to be square feet. 2.4 times 3.6, 8.64. See, this is only work you have to show. Since you can use a calculator, you don't have to show all the in-between steps. Okay, number 12, triangle. That will be this one. 1/2 base times height. Area of a triangle, 1/2 base times height. So we have 1/2, the base is 12 feet, height is 9 feet. Okay, 12 times 9 is 108, so you're going to have 1/2 of 108, 54 square feet, area squared. Area is always squared. So it didn't say something new, so we're still doing area. Area of the triangle, 1/2 base times height. You could use 0.5 if you want to. The base is 30.5 right here. Which one of these is the height? It's not this one. It's the one that's at a right angle.
42.
42 feet. So you know our answer is square feet. So we're going to, if you want to put all these in the calculator, put 0.5 times this times that. 0.5 times 30.5 times 42. So you have 640.5 square feet. Now we have something new, trapezoid. And that will be this one right here.
I need my chapter test for 112.
Okay.
I was like, this is
That's not it. Okay, area of a trapezoid is 1/2 times the height, and then add a plus b. Somebody want to do this? No? Come on. The height is 8 feet, and these are your A and B. So you have 9 plus 18, which is 27, right? So put all that into the calculator. Times 8 times 27. So it's 108 square feet, right? Which one is it that you need?
the one that we're supposed to the
And just copy some of those. Okay, same thing. You guys do it on your own real quick, see what you get. Okay, what'd y'all get? 1/2, 5 times 6.5 plus 4.5. So 1/2 of 55, which is what? 27.5 square inches. Right?
Yep.
Okay, same thing with this. 1/2 height times A plus B. 1/2 height, top plus the bottom. So that's 27 there. So you have 0.5 times 8 times 27. That's 108. What's the units? square meters. Okay, number 17. One-story building is 280 by 430 feet. If a square patio with sides 19 feet occupy the center, how much area remains? Let's draw a picture. Okay, you have a rectangular one-story building, 280 by 430. A square patio occupies the center of the building, 19 by 19. So if you subtract this, you'll see what area remains, right? So you have 280 times 430, that, and then you're going to subtract whatever 19 times 19 is. Okay, make sense? 280 times 430 is 120,400. 19 times 19 is 361. So you're subtracting that. So 120, 400 minus 361. 120,039. And we got to look for units. These were in feet. So that's square feet. 120,039 square feet remain. Okay, how much will it cost to carpet a rectangular room measuring 16 by 23? If the carpeting costs $22.80 per square foot. So find your square footage. 16 times 23 is 368 square feet, and it costs this much for every square foot. So multiply it times how much it costs for every square foot. So 368 times 22.80. 8390. It doesn't say a zero after it, but it's in dollars, so you add the zero. 8,390.40. Okay, next. 19, the area of the shaded region. We had one like this on homework. What did we do? We divided it up into 5 equal squares, right? So you got 5 times the squares. The squares are 17 by 17. So 17 times 17 is 289. So you have 289 times 5. Let's put it down here. 1445 what?
Meters squared.
Right, square centimeters or centimeters squared. Okay. Area of this. You could either divide it up into 3 sections and add all 3 sections, or you could go across here and you could have a big rectangle and you could subtract this smaller rectangle. Okay? We need to find this length if we do that. Okay, from here to here is 21. So if we subtract 6 and 7 from 21, it'll leave us this remainder right here. 21 minus 6 and 7 leaves 9. So this is 9 meters. This little part you're going to subtract is 6 by 9. The big part is what? The length and width. right, 21 times 25. So we have 21 times 25 is 525. 6 times 9 is 54. So it's 471. What's the units? Meter squared. 21. Rectangular piece of fabric is 21 or 22 by 11. Okay? The triangular area with a height and a base of this is cut from the fabric. So how much is left over? So you have a rectangle 22 by 11. And it doesn't say where the triangle is taken out. It could be cut anywhere.
Okay.
On number 20, you don't have the answer.
Yeah, you don't have the answer.
Oh, I don't have the answer?
No.
Okay, I messed up.
So
Did I-
when,
maybe it's not 9? Or did I miss? 21 times 25 is 525. Okay, 21 minus 6 minus 7. Oops, that's 8. That's why I messed up on that one, sorry. 6 times 8, so we'll be subtracting 48. 525 minus 48 is 477. And that one is on there. Okay, I didn't make 100. We're going to cut a triangle out of this. The height of the triangle is 4.3. And the base is 8.6. Okay, so we're going to be subtracting this, right? Cutting it out. So we have rectangle 22 times 11, which is 242, right? And we're going to subtract 1/2 base times height. So we have 8.6 times 4.3 divided by 2, or however you want to multiply it. I got 18.49. So 242 minus 18.49, 240.51. And what is our units? Square feet. It's not on there. Okay, I'm going to be giving up in a minute. 22 times 11 is 242, right? Yeah. Okay. 0.6 times 4.3. 18.49.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I put it on the calculator. Okay, so that's right. I just didn't subtract it right on the calculator. 223.51 square feet. If I miss by many more, I'm not even going to give an A. Okay, 223.51. Find the diameter. Okay? If the radius is 50, all the way across will be 100, right? Diameter is not squared or cubed. It's like perimeter. It's just a distance where you measured across. So 100 yards. Find the radius. If it's 3 all the way across, half of that is your radius. This is your diameter. So the radius is 1.5 with the same unit. Radius, if it's 95.4 miles across, divide that by 2, right? 95.4 divided by 2 is 47.7 miles. Okay, circumference. We need to get back to our sheet that has our formulas. There's only one that says C equals. That's got to be the circumference. You use this if you know the diameter, and you use this if you know the radius. What do we know here? We know the diameter, so we're going to use pi d. This one right here. Okay, so 3.14 is what we're using, times 21. 3.14 times 21. 65.94. Yards. Is a circumference squared or cubed?
No.
Nope, it's a distance around like a perimeter. Okay, we know the diameter again, so we're doing times the diameter. 3.14 times 4.1. No, 12.874 feet. Okay, this one, see it says use 3.14 for pi here? Okay, this one is a fraction, so it wants you to use that for the fraction for pi. We know the radius, so we're going to use 2 times pi times the radius. For pi, we're going to put 22 over 7. 2 will turn it into 2 over 1. The radius, we need to turn that into an improper fraction. 7 times 3 is 21, plus 2, plus 1 is 22. Is there anything we can cancel here? No. So we got 22 times 22 times 2 is 968. 7 times 7 is 49. Okay, you need to change that back into a fraction. That'll go 1 time here. And 9 times here. 9 times 9 is 81. And 37 over 49 left over. So it's 19 and 37 over 49 feet. That's how far it is around. That's the circumference. Okay, now we're to area. Which one of the A's are we going to use for that? The one with the pi in it, right? Because pi only works in circles. So area is pi r squared. Do we know the radius? We can figure it out, huh? Half of this is 7.5. So use 3.14 times the radius times the radius. 3.14 times 7.5 times 7.5. 176.625. What's the units?
Miles squared.
Miles squared, right. Area squared. Okay, again, area is, I need another pencil. Pi r squared. Pi is 3.14. What's our radius? That is our radius, okay. 3.14 times 3.5 times 3.5. 38.465, what's the units? Square feet. Okay, this one said to use a fraction. Still doing area, so we're doing pi r squared. But instead of 3.14, we're doing 22/7. What's the radius? This is the radius, right? Change it to improper. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8. So you have to multiply it times 8/3 times 8/3. Is there any canceling?
No.
Okay, now 22 times 8 times 8 is 1408. 7 times 3 times 3 is 63. So I have 1408 divided by 63. Comes out to 22 something. Okay, let's do that. 1408 divided by 63 goes 2 times. 2 is 12. 148. 2 again. 2, 2. So 22/63. And our units?
Square feet.
Square feet. Okay. Number 31. A wicker basket has a circular rim. Okay, so think about a circle with the diameter of 10. How many inches of ribbon are needed to go once around the rim? What's it called when you go around the circle? Circumference. That's pi times diameter or 2 pi r. Which one do you want to use?
Pi times diameter.
We know the diameter, right? It said 10 inches. So use 3.14. It says to use 3.14 here, times the diameter of 10. So it's 31.4. What's the units? Inches. Okay, number 32. A circular fountain. Okay, another circle going here. A circular fountain has a statue in its center, and 4 meters from the edge has a statue in its center. The statue, oh, okay, that would be the center, okay? That's telling you your radius is 4. The statue is 4 meters from the edge. What's the distance around it? That's circumference again, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to use pi d or 2 pi r? Probably the 2 pi r, right? You know your radius. So 2 times 3.14 times the radius, which is 4 meters. So 2 times 3.14 times 4. It's 25.12 meters around it. Okay, find the perimeter. This is like some of your homework. Going around just the 2 sides would be a circumference of a circle, wouldn't it? So we have one circumference plus a 12 and another 12. The circumference, since we know the diameter across it, we'll use pi times the diameter. So we'll do 3.14 times 6. After we do that, we'll add 24. So that's 18.84, and then add 24 is 42.84. And what is our Units?
Meter square.
Meters. We're going around it, it's not squared.
Oh.
Single units. For perimeter and circumference, it's single units. Okay. We're still doing perimeter. We're going around this. Okay? So we have the bottom and top make one circumference, right? And the right side and the left side make another whole circumference. Do we need any of the straight lines? Not to go around it, right? So this is going to be your whole perimeter. Pi times diameter plus, again, pi times diameter. So 3.14 times 17 plus the same thing again. 3.14 times 17 is 53.38. Times 2 is 106.76, and what is our units?
Centimeters.
Not squared, right?
No.
You're just going around it. 106.76 centimeters. Okay, to go around this one, we have a circumference right here and here. Okay, does that cover the whole perimeter? That doesn't fence in the whole thing, does it? Okay, we need to add 9 and add 9 again. You can bring colored pencils if it'll help you draw around the stuff. We know the diameter, so we use pi times diameter. 3.14, diameter is 9. So we have 28.26 is this part, plus 18 more. 46.26, what is our unit? Feet. 46.26 feet. Going around this still, hasn't changed. We don't have a whole circumference, do we? We have a half of a circumference. So 1/2 of a circumference plus 14.4, which will be twice, right? Top and the bottom, or 14.4. Plus 10.5. And that's everything, right? Half our circumference, 14, 14, 10. Okay. 1/2 of pi times, what's the diameter of this? 10.5, right. So we're going to do 1/2 of 3.14 times 10.5. That's our half a circumference. Times 10.5. 16.485. Is that what you got? And then add these other three. That plus 14.4 plus 14.4 plus 10.5. Like that. And these are kilometers. Is that squared? No, it's the distance around. Okay, this looks a lot like the one we just did, but it wants area, not perimeter. So you're going to use area of a circle if you have a circle in it. You're going to use base times height or length times width for rectangles or parallelograms. Looks like we have a half circle. So if we're going to do area of a half circle, we're going to do 1/2 pi r squared. And this rectangle part, okay, actually, we should do the rectangle first, shouldn't we? Because if you do the rectangle, then you could subtract the circle out, right? So I'm going to put it above it. The rectangle minus the half circle. So the length times the width, and then subtract that. So let's do the rectangle. That would be 4.6 times 10.6. 48.76. Okay, we're going to subtract 1/2 of 3.14 times the radius times the radius. Okay, what's our radius though? Half of that, so the radius is 2.3. So we have 3.14 times 2.3 times 2.3 divided by 2 or times 0.5. We're going to subtract 8.3053. Is that what you got? Okay. Subtract that from 48.76. So yeah, 40.4547 units.
Meters squared.
Meters, and we're doing area, so yes, it's squared. Okay. Now we have another rectangle, but we're subtracting a full circle. That's actually going to be easier because we don't have to have the circle. We're going to do a full rectangle, the length times width, minus a full circle, pi r squared. So length times width will be 3.0 times 11.6, which is 34.8. That's our rectangle. Now our circle. Pi times the radius times the radius. 3 is our diameter. So what's our radius?
1.5.
1.5. 3.14 times 1.5 times 1.5 is 7.065. Subtract that full circle from 34.8. 27.735. What's our units? Centimeters squared, because it's area. Okay, 39. We're not going to be subtracting, are we? We're going to be adding half circle, right? We got a rectangle, and then we added a half circle. So we have length times width, and we have 1/2 of pi r squared. Okay, length times width will be 24 times 44, which is 1056, right? 1/2 pi, and what's the radius?
12.
Half of 24 is 12. So we'll do 3.14 times 12 times 12. Either divide it by 2 or multiply it by 0.5. And that comes out to 220 1026.08. That needs to be subtracted from 1056. So you have 829.92. What is the units?
Yards.
Yards squared, or square yards. What are we adding to get the area of this thing? Triangle, rectangle, and a half circle. Almost looks like a sorority, like Delta Kappa Delta Pi, I don't know. Okay, this was length times width. Area of a triangle, 1/2 base times height. Half a circle is 1/2 pi r squared. Okay, base times height on the triangle is 36 times 20. I'm sorry, length times width on the rectangle. 36 times 20. The triangle, I think I'm writing on the next page here. Okay, the triangle is 1/2 base times height, so we have 1/2. Uh-oh, we need the base of the triangle. We don't know it. Okay, the base, when we find it, what's the height of the triangle? 20. Okay, we know the circle part, 1/2, 3.14, radius, radius. 20 is the diameters, yeah, radius is 10. Okay, so we need to figure out if 36 from here to here, and this is 51, how long is this? Subtract 36 from 51. So you get 15. So the base of the triangle is 15. Okay? It's a lot of work there, huh? 1/2 of 15 times 20 is 150. 36 times 20, 720. .14 times 100 is 314, divided by 2 is 157. Now add all those together. 12, 10, 1027 square yards. This is area, so don't forget the square. Okay, how much of a circle have we got there? 3/4? So we have 3/4 of pi r squared. So you could put 0.75 times 3.14 times radius times radius. Radius is 14, isn't it? So 0.75 times 3.14 times 14 times 14 is 461.58 units, square yards. Now we're out of area, volume. There's only 2 V's on here. Length times width times height and pi r squared h. Got to be length times width times height, right? This is a cylinder, it has a circle. Length times width times height. So they're all 13s. is 2197. Okay, what's the units on volume? Feet times feet times feet,
Cubed.
cubed. Length times width times height. It doesn't matter which order you do them in. 8 times 9 times 3 is 216. We have yards again. Cubic, right, cubic yards. Volume of a cylinder, that's the volume. Pi r squared times the height. It's a circle times how high it goes. Pi r squared height. Use 3.14 for pi. Radius, radius, height. 15 is our diameter. What's the radius? 7.5. And what's the height? 20. So 3.14 times 7.5 times 7 times 20. 3532.5. What's the units?
Yard cubed.
Yards cubed, or cubic yards. Okay. Another cylinder, pi r squared height. It's said to use the fraction here for pi. 22/7. Radius is 17, isn't it? Put it on top so you can put it over 1. 17, 17, and then the height, 91. The good thing is 91 will divide by 7. Divide by 7 is 1, divide by 7 is 13. That way all you have to do is multiply those.